I know you're excited. SummerSlam is fast approaching this Sunday. One of the headliners in studio today is with us, WWE wrestler Brock Lesnar. Kerry wanted to have a ring in here to see you give me the suplex, and I passed on that, Brock.
Unfortunately,
you had a homecoming last night.
Well, we don't need a ring.
No,
go for it, please.
Then
go
Kerry
for
will be
it.
doing a solo show for the next hour and 10 minutes, maybe with you doing highlights. You had a homecoming last night. How's the body feel coming from Minneapolis and then being surprised by the Undertaker and then being a part of the Tombstone,
pile driver, and then get your butt on an airplane and come out to Bristol, Connecticut.
How you feeling right now?
I'm feeling that. I'm a little tired, but I feel great. I mean, it's a pleasure to be here, and very excited about SummerSlam and facing the Undertaker and taking him to Suplex City.
There's a lot of history with this, of course, last year with WrestleMania and ending the streak with the Undertaker. What was that experience like at WrestleMania 30 for you?
It was a very strange experience for me because the legend of the Undertaker was supposed to live on, and a lot of weight on my shoulders because to be the guy to take that away from the company and the fans and even my coworkers. But at the end of the day, it was a business decision by Vince McMahon, and hey, I'll take the win whenever I can.
When you say coworkers, what do you exactly mean?
Well, I think people, when you're in the business and you're an athlete and a performer, you're consumed and you're a fan. You're a fan of the work, and you're a fan of a lot of these guys that are working now grew up with the Undertaker and watching the Undertaker, and so I mean, there's a lot of history there. It was his WrestleMania was his show, and I took that away. You know?
How was the reaction from fans in the last year, considering what you did?
I still get booed by that one. They don't like that one.
But do you like it though? Do you thrive in that atmosphere?
Absolutely. If there was one guy that could handle that, and I think if they would have put that responsibility on any other performer, a full-time guy, me being a part-time participant in this venue, I think it was the right thing to do.
What goes into becoming a professional wrestler and maintaining that week in and week out, the travel as well as the performance?
You've got to condition your mind and your body. I mean, because it's 300 days a year, and you're in the ring every night. There's no off season. I mean, these people, they go at it. The ring is not forgiving.
Yeah.
So every night you go out and put everything on the line, you know, and you try to take care of each other the best you can. But sometimes it's hey, you know the old elf saying, you know, it happens. Things happen.
Yeah, and now you have a unique thing, and you and I talked about this during the commercial break. I think you're the only athlete entertainer that has ever played professional football when it comes to being in a training camp for the Vikings, be in the octagon as an MMA fighter for UFC, and then a champion. And then be a professional wrestler. What's it like? How do you separate the training, and what was the hardest sport?
Well, I think for a number of years, you know, I grew up as an amateur wrestler. I started wrestling, amateur wrestling when I was 5 years old, and it took me a long time to gain success in the sport. It wasn't until my very last tournament of my career I won the tournament. I was a runner-up in 1999. I got beat in a match by a guy by the name of Stephen Neal, who went on to play for the Patriots. And so the training in that was long, and the payoff was a long time. But I tell you, to this day, the NFL training camp, to me, mentally and physically, was very hard because I was out of my element totally.
What was the hardest thing about it?
Getting hit and not knowing where it was come from and not knowing what the hell was going on.
Harder than being in the octagon where you don't know where the punches are coming from?
Way harder because, yeah, when you're a fish out of the water, like there's a whole nother element to it. So, but for me, fighting and wrestling, that's what I do.
There's some controversy, as there always is when we bring up Dana White, former boss. He recently exchanged a conversation on Twitter called wrestling as fake. You're a guy that's been a part of, you know, the Octagon and UFC as a champion, as well as a professional wrestler. What's your reaction to the comments that it's fake?
Well, of course, Dana, it's fake, all right? Everybody knows that, but it's still the same. You're promoting the same thing we're promoting. Dana White is promoting fights. We're promoting fights. It just so happens that we get a little more longevity out of our fight and out of our fighters because of the circumstances. It is a staged arena. Everybody knows that. And if you can't turn WWE on Monday night and get something out of that show and be entertained, then there's something wrong with you. So Dana probably in his defense, you know, is promoting fighting, but it's the same thing. He's trying to sell pay-per-views. He's trying to sell money fights. It's the same racket.
Same racket, but there's a different light. It's non-rehearsed, right?
Non-rehearsed, yeah, absolutely. But I mean, the business model is the same. It's identical.
Entertainment.
And I think Vince McMahon is better at it than Dana, and that might rub Dana the wrong way.
What makes Vince better than Dana when it comes to that?
Because Vince is the pioneer of it. He's been doing this his whole life, and I think and he's damn good at it.
No doubt. When you look at the organization, how it's sustained success
Absolutely.
through the generations. Give me an idea what's different for getting ready for a night with Raw on Monday night, getting ready for SummerSlam, and then WrestleMania. How different are all three stages? Because they are bigger events as we progress.
I approach every match the same. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, I want to put out a good product. I want to portray believability. I want to be an ass kicker, and as long as I'm portraying that, to me, I don't know the difference if there's 20,000 or 80,000 people because I love being in the ring. It's not. To me, it's about being in there and performing, and as long as there's people out there and as long as I'm doing my job, that's why I'm here. Like I love being in the ring. Mm-hmm. Everything else, I don't care too much for it.
You come across as a guy, though, that loves intense sports, and you're a big fan of NASCAR. Kevin Harvick's your guy. Have you ever considered getting inside a NASCAR?
I actually tried getting in Kevin's car one time, and I got in it before a race. Yeah. And I was stuck in it. So then I stood up, and I walked away with his car. And he was like, Lesnar, bring it. No, I'm just kidding.
We're not talking about the Flintstones here.
No, but I was never a fan of NASCAR, and then I became a sponsor. I was sponsored by Jimmy John's.
Yeah.
You know, Freaky Fast Subs, and both of us are sponsored by Jimmy. Yeah. And he said, hey, come to an event, and I got to meet Kevin, and so then Kevin invited me to the Daytona 500. And I got down there and I felt it. I was around cars as a kid. Like I used to do demolition derbies and all kinds of crazy things like that. But this was a whole nother deal. And I just being there and smelling the gasoline, listening to the cars, smelling the rubber burning. You know, I mean,
especially when you're in the environment, the Super Bowl of racing. Too.
When you're there and you can live it and breathe it and smell it. It was remarkable. So I was really drawn to it. And Kevin, what a great guy. What a great season he's had last year. And this year he's just kicking butt. He's
Rob,
my man.
Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. And of course, good luck on Sunday, SummerSlam on WWE Network against the Undertaker. We will work on the suplex in the commercial break. I'll pass on some pointers. You ready for that?
I'll show you a couple examples.
Kevin, can you do that walk?
Hopefully I'll be back after the break.